Super Tuesday. All-day coverage June 7th on CNN.
1 week from today, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders face off in the final round of primaries, including the important race in California. That would be California to most people. Joining me now, Jennifer Granholm is a former governor of Michigan who is supporting Hillary Clinton, and Nina Turner, former Ohio State senator who is supporting Sanders. Good evening to both of you. Good to have you on. A lot of people say endorsements don't matter as much as they used to, but today Hillary Clinton got an endorsement both sides coveted from California Governor Jerry Brown, and he says, "I believe this is the only path forward to win the presidency and stop the dangerous candidacy of Donald Trump." So, Nina, you first. Would you like to have had the support of Governor Brown, given that he is probably the biggest progressive name in California?
Well, of course, every candidate wants those endorsements. I mean, endorsements certainly don't vote, but it makes you feel good. But there's no surprise. I mean, the surprise would have been had the governor actually endorsed Senator Sanders. There's no surprise that he endorsed the secretary. Every single establishment-type candidate has done so thus far, so we're not surprised at all.
You're not surprised that he endorsed her instead of him? I mean...
Right, no, I'm not surprised. Because that's where everybody is going. I mean, look, if the governor was really in line with what his state, raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour, universal health care, those kinds of progressive things that Senator Sanders is fighting for, he would be on the side of the people, but instead he went the easy route. So no, we're not surprised.
Do you think he went the easy route, Governor Granholm?
No, I mean, for him, as you know, there has not been a history of great closeness with the Clintons. But what he did today was to say, here's what's important to me. What's important to me is climate change. Not that Bernie Sanders doesn't care about climate change, but the fact that he endorsed Hillary Clinton suggests both to her supporters, but as well to Bernie Sanders supporters, that she's really strong on that. The fact that he endorsed her and did so with a message of unity is really important. He said Democrats shouldn't be fighting Democrats because in the end, the enemy that's facing us in November is much bigger and much more important to defeat in a united way.
I'm going to get back to let me get back to this process. To Governor Granholm's point, though, Nina, and fighting over a nomination, because Governor Brown ran against Bill Clinton. She said it hasn't always been, hunky-dory between the Clintons. He ran against Bill Clinton in 1992 in the primary, and it got pretty ugly. Listen to this debate.
He is funneling money to his wife's firm for state business. That's number one. I don't care what you say about me, but you ought to be ashamed of yourself for jumping on my wife. You're not worth being on the same platform. I'll tell you something.
So the governors, it has not always been easy. They have united. Do you think there's going to be enough time to have some sort of unification between Democrats, Hillary Clinton, and Bernie Sanders before this thing actually gets to the convention?
But Senator Sanders is in this. I don't know how many which ways we got to say this. Do we got to leap tall buildings in a single bound? Senator Sanders is in this contest. He has said it every which way that he can. Every surrogate has said the same thing. He is in this race to become the Democratic nominee for the President of the United States of America. And so you don't stop in the last quarter of the game just because some people want him to get out of this race. He's going all the way to the convention. Nothing has changed, and no matter what happens in California on Tuesday, I'm going to say the same thing when you ask me that again. He's going all the way
but
to the
even
convention.
If the math is not in your favor,
tape.
I mean, let's talk about facts here. The math is not in your favor. And let me ask you this, Governor Granholm, and then you can respond, Nina. Hillary Clinton is likely, though, to clinch the nomination by the time the polls close in California on Tuesday. So is she, by Nina saying this, Bernie Sanders saying that, is she going to go into this convention wounded?
You mean if she lost California?
Yeah, if she lost California. Even if she loses California, she's probably still going to clinch it by Tuesday.
She's going to win it. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, let me just say this, Dan, and I don't know how many times her team has to say this, but she is not asking Bernie Sanders to get out of this race now. She'd be the last person to do that. She went all the way until the last votes were counted. She totally gets that, and she wants California to have its say. That's why she's here this week. She's fighting for votes, too. In the end, though, and I know, Nina, I know you would say that if Bernie Sanders won, you would ask her and her supporters to be for him in the same way that if she wins the majority of these delegates, she's going to ask Bernie Sanders' vote, and she's going to make that appeal. She's going to ask Bernie Sanders to help make that appeal. We have got to be united in the end. But right now, as we speak, it may be a week early for us to be having that conversation done.
Okay.
It's got to go through the process.
Nina, before you respond, listen to this. This is Hillary Clinton talking to Jake Tapper today, and then you can respond. Listen.
I have said repeatedly, I will certainly do everything I can to unify the Democratic Party. Our campaigns have been reaching out to one another. We will continue to do that. And once the primaries are over, as of next Tuesday, we will begin talking in more detail about what we can do to unify the party. Because as I've said many times, and as Senator Sanders has said, we both are going to do everything we can to prevent Donald Trump from getting anywhere near the White House.
So, Nina,
presumptuous, Don. I mean, the race is not over next Tuesday. D.C. still has the vote. The race is not over next Tuesday. So I want everybody to understand is that the superdelegates do not weigh in. Neither candidate, neither the senator nor the secretary will have the requisite pledged delegates necessary. It will take superdelegates to push either one of them over the top. But this is the thing, Don. Yes, some of the Clinton surrogates are saying, oh, no, we don't want them to get out the race. But at the same time, even Senator Feinstein just recently said just this past Sunday. So they're saying one thing one way, but they're talking out of the left side of their mouths when it comes to really respecting Senator Sanders, the 21 contests that he has won, and the people all across this country who still have yet to cast a ballot. Don, they can't have it both ways. So Senator Sanders is going to stay in this race all the way to the convention. Period.
There may be people
going anywhere.
We get it. Totally get it. Totally get it. We hear you,
okay.
And she is not asking him to get out. She's not. She's not. How many times does she have to say it? She's respecting it, really, and respecting his voters.
That's got to be the last word. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Don.
We come right back. Donald Trump goes to war. His supporters love it, but will it turn off voters in November? We'll be right back.